Neil, on from the game on Saturday now, 24 hours, 48 hours on. Have you had a chance to have a look at it again and think about what went wrong in that game and had a chance to take stock of it?
Well, I think I looked at obviously the goal straight after the game. Um, my thoughts on the game have not changed. We had a really poor first 20 minutes. Very unfortunate with two deflections, and we didn't take our chances at the other end. Otherwise, it would have been a different scoreline. So I'm not going to. It's a bad result, and it's a worse result if you look from the outside. But in terms of chances and everything, there's games where we've played a lot worse than that. And like I say, I don't think that was a fair reflection of the game.
It's putting those chances away, though, isn't it? That's proving to be the biggest
Oh no,
problem.
yeah, because I mean, I know I'm not daft. I know that there's a number of games. I think it's about 10 games we've not scored a goal in, which is obviously too many, and that is a problem. But I certainly think at home as well, we've had a problem in keeping clean sheets. And if you're not scoring, if you're not prolific at the other end, once you concede, then you do have problems. And I think that conceding again early after 5 minutes, it deflates the crowd, the players, everything, because you think, oh, here we go again. And I think before we start, of course, the biggest problem is scoring goals, but until we get a basis in the game, and that means by not conceding, you're not going to go on and get the win that we need. But I know we're in a bad place at the moment. There's nobody knows it more than me. But the only thing that'll change it is by winning a game. And as soon as we get it, then hopefully that'll give everybody a lift. I know that you can't wait forever for it as manager because I need a result, but we've got to look to Saturday, we've got to be positive, and we must go there and try and win the game because we need to win a game in the league to get us going again.
What goes through your head as the manager when you see your team that you pick at Lincoln play really well and then they come up against Colchester and they get a result like that? Does it change the way you think about your team and the way that you train them and drill them?
I think as a manager you're always going to be questioned about your team selection because you can't please everyone. But I picked the same team on Saturday as I picked against Lincoln, so I think we can safely say that there was no reason to change that formation. So I don't think it's nothing to do really with the formation. I think it's just players not being consistent in their play, and that was evident on Saturday. There's no way that those players played to the levels they did against Lincoln. I think you have to distinguish between a player not playing well and a player not trying. I did see players out there trying, but they're just not at their best form and at the form they need to win games.
A couple of injuries to come out of that. Probably, I know Mitchell Clark got injured. The biggest worry, I imagine, from the supporters' point of view is Tom Pope. Can you give us an update on how he is?
No, it's not looking good. We're going to be without him for a number of weeks. But when you are struggling, you do get things go against you. He probably is the last player we want to get injured, especially when we're trying to knowing that we need strikers to come in. But we're going to have to deal with it. And like I say, we've had to deal with it before, but it is unfortunate. There's a couple of things I'm not happy with in terms of the injury side of things, I would say. But it is something that we could have done without.
What do you mean by you're not happy with the injury side?
I'm not going into details. I'm just not happy with certain things.
Okay. From the manager's point of view, though, to lose your top scorer is always bad. But as you say, being in the market for strikers, I imagine everybody thinks, well, we know you need one now, so money goes up.
Look, we've got a number of strikers that we're trying to bring in. That was the case before Tom got injured. We're still trying to bring those in. We're hopeful we can get a player in this week. We desperately need it. Everybody knows it. And you'd have to say that the strikers that we have at the club, I think I said the same last year, they need to do better. They can't. I said we relied on Tom Pope last year. We've relied on him this year, but you're not going to get Tom Pope playing every game. At times he's going to get injuries. There's times that he's played with injuries, and there's other players at the club whose job is to score goals, and they've got to start doing that.
You have managed to bring in a player already, though, in Adam Crooks. What do you like about him that led you to bring him in?
Well, Adam's different because, of course, people will think, well, you need strikers, you're bringing in defenders, but it's not a case of that. He's versatile, he can play a few positions, and he's left-footed, and a natural left-footer in the defence, which we've probably not had. He'll compete for a place, but he can play in a couple of other positions. And so he was always somebody that we were going to bring in, but we all know we need to be concentrating at the other end of the pitch.
In terms of him, though, I imagine he's a player who's pretty hungry as well, because he's not got the time that he wanted at Lincoln, and he'll come here eager to play.
I think it's been difficult for him to get into Lincoln's team with the way of the season they've had and with the personnel they've got. They've also, at Lincoln have got good players who are not in the team as well, who are in a similar position to him. He's come here because he thinks he's got a better chance, which you'd have to say, yes, at the moment, looking at it, he has. And he wants to play football, and he's desperate to play. He'll play in the reserves tomorrow, and that'll be a good 90 minutes from tomorrow, and then we can assess his fitness more tomorrow.